The Centennial School District is putting 3 different levy questions before voters this year, after they brought 2 questions last year that yielded mixed results.
The capital question went through, which we were really grateful for. Operation didn't. So we went back through after that and sort of reevaluated our entire list. Strategic plan, surveying, and said, you know what, let's resurvey, let's talk to parents and figure out, is this the list that people would like to see integrated into our system? What are the priorities, things of that nature? And we came back to some conclusions over about a 3 to 6 month span of different surveys to our parents, our students, our staff, and our community at large, asking what priorities were, asking what they were thinking about as they thought about our district for the future, and then took that through the board for about 3 months to say, with the data we have, here's what basically we found out, and here's what we believe the plan is moving forward for our district.
The 3 questions each address different areas of student learning. The first question would continue current programs in place for an additional 10 years.
So question 1's a renewal. We had a levy that expired, it actually expired this year, back from 2009. And basically this will be a tax neutral question. And what it does is it maintains most of the program and services we have in our district at this point.
The second question would increase educational offerings and would come with a tax increase for property owners.
The second question is a $549 per pupil ask, which ends up being about 92 cents a day or $336 a year. And that really is a program and services piece across the board. So things that we're going to include in that is STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math. We have a program already that we started a few years back at the middle school. We're growing at the high school at this point too. And we've heard from our parents they want to set opportunity for all students across the board. So we want to actually offer an elementary component and expand our high school offerings as well. Interventions are really important as well. We've heard from parents that not only are struggling students and our high achievers, but also in the middle. How do we really work with those students to support their needs and provide services that they need to be successful? So we want to offer programming services and more staffing to that as well. Mental health is a big issue in our country. We want to offer more programs for our students.
The third question on the ballot would address the ever-growing desire to integrate more technology into learning.
So technology is a big piece we want to do, and so we're asking for a $1.8 million ask. What that ends up being is $167 a year and 46 cents a day. That really sort of covers a broad stroke of where we really need to be moving forward. It offers devices in the hands of kids, all the way from pre-K all the way through our adult learners. We have systems in place as well that will help to support that. It's interesting, in the last 5 years, we've probably tripled the amount of devices we have in this district. We've added no people to help support that. We need people to help support it. We need coaches in the classroom. We need software and technical experts to help really manage our systems overall. This brings all that to light overall, but more importantly, does it in a very sustainable way that we can really grow our programs and hit a need that we hear from our students and our general public that they want to see really advance, which is 21st century learning.
The estimated tax increases mentioned by Superintendent Dietz are based on a home valued at $250,000. The technology levy would enable the school district to eventually put a device in the hands of every high school student and have many classroom sets of devices available for younger students. Superintendent Dietz made it clear that they will listen to the voters no matter the outcome.
Whatever the outcomes are, we want to take a look at that piece, and if we feel like, you know what, this is where we need to be, we want to be respectful and not go back out again as well. I think we're at a point where we're saying we've listened a lot, which is great. We need to listen every day to what our students and parents are telling us, and we feel like we have a pretty good sense about where things are at. So we're hoping that, again, going out shows that intentionality of their 10-year asks overall. So we're really intentional in making sure that, again, this is what you want, and our goal is saying if you go ahead and approve these, we're not coming back out.
He also cautioned that losing all 3 questions would mean difficult cuts.
If we lose all 3 questions, it'd be devastating. I mean, we'd have to make some cuts, and we talked about that during our campaign about the fact that these are the needs that we've identified and that the community's helped us to sort of identify overall. We want to be honest back and say these are our realities. If we don't have some of these resources in place, we'll lose some services, programs, and more importantly, staff, which tends to be the backbone of any district in the state overall.
A multi-year process will come to fruition on the first Tuesday in November as voters go to the polls. The district is hoping that they have found the right package of questions for the voters.
This has been a pretty mindful process since 2011, 2012 strategic plan that identified these core pieces. We've surveyed now the last 2 years pretty extensively in our community, parents, and students to find out if these are your resources you're looking for moving forward. We want to make sure we're hitting the mark with what we're going to do. And we've heard from them, yes, this is what we like to see in our buildings. And we've trimmed in off the list as well. we're trying to be mindful of the fact that there's got to be a threshold where the public says, you know what, I'm willing to support this. And there's a threshold that we're saying we're not going to go there because we know it's not respectful to you as a taxpayer.
For North Metro TV News, Ben Hale reporting.